So I need to get you guys up to speed. It's been several days since I made a video. I'm here in Portland. I got into Portland on Monday night, and I already knew that I was not going to be able to leave Portland until I found some kind of money source. That Portland was going to be a little bit of a longer stop. And it has become my motto in the last couple years to give when I am in need first before trying to receive. That's just my thing. So when I got into Portland, I immediately started researching ways to volunteer. So a lot of the places that I came across at first wanted some kind of a long-term commitment, and I didn't know how long I would be in town or what my schedule is going to be like, if I can find a job or what's going to happen. So I did come across an ad for volunteers needed at Meals on Wheels people. They have a location downtown where they do pack meals and drive them around to people, but they also have a dining room there where they serve lunch every day to seniors that can come to their physical location. So they emailed me right back and said, oh yeah, we're happy to have you. You don't need to make a specific commitment to come every week, or anything like that. Just come once and see how you like it. And, come Tuesday or Wednesday. That would work out great for us. So it's Monday night, and I thought, well, okay, I haven't figured out how to get downtown yet. So I agreed to come on Wednesday, and then I was going to spend Tuesday kind of figuring out the public transit system, because it was actually cheaper to park for free at a park and ride location somewhere outside of the city and then take the bus in town. So I actually it took me about 4 or 5 hours on Tuesday just to make it downtown. So it was quite the frustrating experience. I got kicked off of one bus because I didn't realize that there's 2 different transit providers, I guess, in the city of Portland. So if you buy a bus pass for one provider, that doesn't necessarily get you onto the other bus provider. So I was like, oh, I thought I could ride the bus. And they're like, yeah, but you can't ride this bus. So that was unfortunate, because that was my first plan, was to take that bus to a different place and then take another bus. And by the time I found kind of the right place to park, the specific line that goes straight from where I was to downtown was not running anymore. It only runs like during rush hour, and this was kind of noonish or 11 or something. So then I decided to drive to a totally different location, because I thought I could catch there would be a faster connection from there. Well, I get there and there's nowhere to park at the actual bus stop. And so I looked up a park and ride location on the transit center's website, and apparently that location does not actually exist. At least the place where Google Maps tried to take me does not actually exist. And I went around the block like 3 times before I realized, oh, there's nothing here. So that was frustrating. By the time I'd done that, I had missed the connection that I was planning on taking anyway. So I ended up just driving back to the first place and waiting for a connection that was a little more complicated, and it took me about twice as long to actually get where I was going, but at least I got there. So I went to the Meals on Wheels people downtown location just to make sure I could get there, and I said hi, and they gave me some paperwork to fill out, and that was great. And by the time I made it home, that was pretty much a full day just wrestling with the transit system. So I was a little frustrated, but it was also kind of an adventure. So, what can you do? So Wednesday I made it just fine early in the morning, and I did like a 9:30 to 2:30 shift volunteering, and I helped prepare the meal, and then I helped serve the meal to the seniors in their dining room, and I really enjoyed it. And whenever you say, oh yeah, I volunteered and it was a lot of fun, well, that was not the point of volunteering. The point of volunteering is not for you to have fun. And the whole experience was not constantly fun either. I actually stood around awkwardly without anything to do a little bit, which was, I really don't like to just stand there while other people do stuff, but you know, that's fine. Especially when you're new, you know, you have to have constant direction. So it can be tough for the people who are in charge to just be constantly focusing on you. So that's fine. But it was a very positive experience, and the people were very kind and very welcoming, and it felt great to be part of something like that. And it also felt great to be useful and do something after being on the road for so long, and it just felt right to help other people instead of worrying about myself. And when I got done with my shift that day, the guy who was in charge of the kitchen said, okay, so, you know, what's your situation? What are your plans for when you're going to volunteer again? And I was like, well, I don't really know, you know, kind of explained my situation. He was like, okay, well, come tomorrow then. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I actually went on Thursday as well, and also had a very positive experience yet again. So I would like to go back either tomorrow, which is Saturday, or next week. It was definitely a very bright patch in what has been kind of a negative week. I worry too much. That's the bottom line. I need to stop worrying so much because it's so unuseful. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that experience and how awesome it was.